All right, everybody. We are pretty on time. 2 minutes behind. I think today we are going to be figuring out penalties. All right, we're going to be figuring out penalties. It's time. So you guys we'll start off with 2 points being added to my late score. For those of you who don't know, the late score... How to explain this? Who all is familiar with the penalty system? Because we've been talking about it for a little bit. 2 points? Yeah. A point per minute. That's fair. Point per minute. I feel like point per minute is pretty reasonable. But the penalties, I get to decide how they're priced. We'll try and make it reasonable how it's priced. But that can be one of the first things we figure out before we get into predictions. We're going to talk a little bit about the Saul situation. We're going to talk a little bit about the Saul situation because I'm peeved. I'm peeved. I'm beyond peeved. I'm upset. Not because people are, not because people are, pushing back against the criticism, but that's okay. I don't like being, how to explain this? I don't like being misrepresented. That's very different. Because the reality is most people on Twitter are not going to watch, they're not going to watch the video, right? So then if people just post their reactions to the video and say, Morj is incorrect because he didn't address this, or he didn't say this, or because this point, and insert bullshit that is either A, addressed in the video, that they are not providing a counter-argument for, or B, was never what the video was about in the first place. Right? Those things are things that I have no control. I'm like, fuck, why did I spend so much time covering all of this shit in the video and making as clear as possible what, this is the argument, these are the things that I'm providing counter-arguments for. Why did I spend so much time being so... You know how mind-blowing it was? People are fucking bringing up, fucking Gandalf. And I'm like, Gandalf is literally I talk about him in the video. That's not a gotcha. You need to respond to what I said in the video about, that's the thing. That's what frustrates me, which is that it reflects not watching the video. So you're not really, that's what's frustrating. If people were putting forward arguments that addressed what I'm talking about in the video, that'd be one thing. But just saying, if an account just posts the video and says, Morj said this, but that's actually incorrect because of this, I'm like, I didn't say that. Or you're making an argument that I do in fact address, you're just skipping over what I said in response to it. I'm like, what am I supposed to do about that? What am I supposed to do about that? There's no defense. I can't magically, I could go through and, initially I was just like, if people have issues with it, I'll just send them timestamps. But when so many different accounts or people or whatever are posting things that are, inaccurate to the video, I don't have the time on my hands to be going through and initially if you go through what I posted, I started putting little, this is addressed here in this video, this is addressed here in this video, etc. But then there was so much, it's still so many people. I'm just I don't have time, I have other shit to do in my day. I can't just be sitting here and sitting there one by one going through and being no, this is addressed here by this timestamp, this is it. I'm going to actually, you know what? I'm going to leave it for the moment. It's not worth getting upset about. It might be worth... I don't know. That is going to bother me because it gives me a little bit of a preview as to what may happen when I drop the Wanna video. That might be the thing. I'm a little bit concerned about that. Jolly D. Joestar, thanks to 2. Penalties equals watch Daima at 200. Let's start putting up the penalties. Let me think on this a little bit. Because, I have half a mind to go stir shit up on Twitter right now, but I don't want to. I feel like it's not for my own good. We'll see how I feel over the course of the stream. We'll see how I feel. But I have half a mind to go say some shit. Half a mind is a good 50% of my mind. Jay, what's up? It's your stream. Vent. Yeah. I think, I don't know. Maybe switching subjects might make me happier. Because I'm just if I post something... And then, the next day I see all of these responses or whatever. I'm I don't have time to fucking go through and be respond to each fucking person. I know that if I do, because I've experienced it the first time. What day is today? Friday? Video goes up Tuesday. I think Wednesday was when I started seeing, people making shit up about the video. And then I was okay, well, I should respond to this in some way because the video is being misrepresented. So then I made a tweet about that. And then I got so many responses about the tweet, and then it started blowing up more, and other people started posting, blatantly inaccurate versions of what the video is saying. And then I'm just okay, I'm falling into a bit of a rabbit hole of like responding to people too much when it's just no longer worth the time. And so then I like just was like, okay, I'm not going to say shit for like a while. But now I'm stewing on it. I'm just like, I feel like I should just, I feel like the desire to defend what I'm actually saying a little bit. JD Legend, thanks for the 5. My Wano video will probably soften the blow. You'll be good. Bro, I saw the responses to your Wano video. I feel like I mean, it was a mixed bag, right? It was a mixed bag. I think the biggest thing is at the end of the day, like, I'm not going to enjoy it. Like, if people just, I'm always going to be okay if people, like, clip a section of the video or something and then talk about why, as long as it's, like, giving the full context. If people clip a section of the video and provide a counter argument, that's one thing. But I noticed that in people who were trying to argue against the video, they never actually addressed the arguments. They just said some stuff that, like, they're like, well, Morj didn't address this. I'm like, I didn't address it because that's not what we're arguing about, right? Or they'll be like, or they'll be arguing against something that I never said. And that's what's mind-blowing. And they can make a full thread about that. And they're like, Morj said this, this, this. I'm like, there is no point. Interesting how you don't post timestamps or anything like that to any part of the video. People did post one clip, which was, yeah, a meme clip, but that wasn't the full argument. That was starting off with an extreme example that then led to actual relevant examples in the manga. It's just establishing a principle and portraying it as extreme so that then you can build off of that, right? It's not meant to be the full argument, so pulled out of context or whatever. I'm never going to have a problem if, like, people are actually providing counter arguments to what I said and, like, referencing what I actually said. But that's not what was happening. And I think that's what frustrated me. Because most people on Twitter didn't watch the video, so they're just going to see X person saying, Morj said this in this video, but it's incorrect, and they're going to be like, ah, nice, you debunked Morj's video. It's like, how the fuck would you know when you didn't fucking watch it? That's not what that's it. That's all I got to say. Tom, thanks to 2. Don't worry, I've been a Morj angel to fight the Oda angels. I appreciate it, Tom. I appreciate it, man. Let's get the stream likes up to 50 real quick. Deshaun the Champ, thanks to 2. Stand on business, Morj, or you're soft. You know what I would love? What I would love, so like Randy recently reached out. He was like, we could do a debate or something like that. I said that we could do, I think he wants to do on his channel. So if it's on his channel, I think he likes doing Sundays. So then we might do a Sunday a little bit down the line because I can't do this Sunday or next Sunday. If he wants to do my channel, you can join the stream Monday is what I told him. So we'll wait and see. But I'm not actually super interested in debating Randy because like I respect Randy. I like Randy. I'm going to respect his points. I would love to debate the people on Twitter, you know? I would love to debate the people on Twitter. I think Randy and I are going to talk about it at some point or another. If he can do Monday, then you'll probably see him Monday. If he can't do Monday, then you'll see me on his stream probably a couple weekends from now. But I would like to debate the people on Twitter. I would like to have them, the good people on Twitter, I would like them to come to this channel and talk there. That's what I would like to see. I would love to see how they do when they cannot lie about what I'm saying. That's all I would like to see. What can you do if you're, you know, not getting to write a thread or write post or something or whatever to a bunch of people who don't even know what the fuck, like, the actual original argument was? What is it like when you actually have to respond and engage in real time with the actual arguments being presented? I don't know. Marcos Vinicius, thanks a lot. I've said this somewhere else, but I don't personally mind the Saul thing. And if Oda hadn't done so many fake outs before, people wouldn't mind as much. The literary angle is bad, though. A trope isn't inherently bad. I'm not even going to get into this stuff here. This is gonna make me go insane. I'm not going to get into this stuff here. If you think, I mean, I think that it's possible that if Oda hadn't done it so many times before, it would feel less bad. But for me, it's just like, this is just another thing on an already fairly hefty line, like a hefty list of like doing the same shitty trope over and over again, right? And it's just like, it's just bizarre that people are trying to defend this one, because to me that's more so reflective of like, okay, no matter what Oda does, people will try to defend it in some way. I'm sure that like the only reason people acknowledge the previous ones, like even the previous times that this stuff came up, there was always pushback. Like, I remember even with the Kinemon thing, people were arguing, like, this is bad, but a lot of people are defending it, etc. There's always going to be pushback. I think no matter what, as long as there's, like, a foot in the door or some wiggle room to try and argue why what Oda did is actually good, people will always do that, right? And I think people like are aware that Oda is known for a lot of false death scenes. So when Oda does another false death scene for something so significant, the Ohara flashback, right? This late into the story, there is going to be a lot of desire to try and defend that no matter what is actually being really good. Tom, thanks to the 2. Make a t-shirt with the Morj plush strangling Saul. No, that seems aggressive and not productive. Christian Barraza, thanks for being a Yonko tier member for 19 months. Oda Angel is too nice of a title. They're more like Oda's Knobgoblins, acting like zealots as if OP is gospel. As a fan of One Piece, it's okay to criticize. It is what it is, man. Again, I am okay. I expected counter-arguments to the video. What I didn't expect is just lying about what the video's about. I think that's what's frustrating me. That's what's frustrating me the most. Real Linskoff says, where can I get those posters in the background? And like the stream and become a member. Real Linskoff, you are a true angel. You're a true angel. I appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed the Pirate King podcast that just came out. You can get the posters in the background. Allow me to share with you. Yeah, let me show you the posters. Here you go. You can get the posters in the background here. And you can, what do you call? We got a lot of deals going for them. You can get any of the posters. Sorry that one's missing. I started the process of like swapping out some posters for other ones, but I didn't get through it all the way. And then I wanted to start stream to not raise too many penalties, right? Here, let's do Morj late penalties. All right. We should have something for 5 points. Hold on. Let me share it with you guys in a second. Let me share with you guys. Hold on. Hold on a second here. Just hold on, everybody. Okay. All right. Morj late penalties. Also, Jay, if you're still in chat, thanks for the defense, brother. I appreciate it. I appreciate the support. Let's see. What do we have? Also, shouts to other creators, obviously, who are willing to come through and say something. I appreciate that, of course. So this is going to be based on points, right? Here's the rules. Let me explain the rules on the side. All right? Rules. Let me make sure this is labeled so we don't lose it. Morj late penalties. All right, rules. Every minute Morj is late to a stream, a point is added. I'm currently at 2 points, okay? Viewers, point total keeps rising across streams. It accumulates. Viewers can cash in all their points for shit. Sorry, let me just send a text. One second. Hold on. Okay. Viewers can cash in all their points for make Morj do a penalty. All right. We will vote each stream to see if viewers want to cash in points or keep saving them. All right, pretty simple. Current point total, and we'll put this in red. You guys can see my screen, right? Yeah. Current point total, 2. All right. So we can make the first penalty at 5. Then I think 10. Nah, maybe something bigger, like 5, 20, 50. We just got to think of some stuff. So that's the general gist of it, right? Current point total is 2. So we're not yet at a point where I have to do anything. Strad Shako, thanks for the 2. 600 equals Bollywood. That's 10 hours late, bro. Come on. I will never do a Bollywood dance. That's just never happening. All the point penalties have to be things that I could, in the realm of possibility, actually end up doing. Ender Anami says, Morj, changing the stream time should incur some amount of points, maybe half of the total time delayed. No, that's too... No, I think I shouldn't... We'll view how... I don't think I did anything egregious today. I changed the stream time 15 minutes. That's not the worst thing in the world. So you all knew. The idea is that you guys can now start trusting that when a stream time is set, that I will be there at that stream time. But, like, if shit happens earlier in the day or something and I have to change the stream time, as long as I'm not doing it, like, literally right before the stream starts, I think that's okay. I believe I changed the stream time, like, 1 to 2 hours in advance. I think that's the goal, right? No, Strad Chaco says, Ender makes a really good point. No more changing stream start time. No, shit happens. I should be allowed to change it. Der Boppler, welcome to the Yonko. Thanks for joining. Feel free to check out the podcast. Feel free to check out the Yonko podcast. It comes out every... What do you call? It comes out every week. We had one come out Tuesday, also talking about Saul's death. But yeah, thanks for the support. Feel free to use some emotes and everything. Jolly D. Joestar, thanks for the 5. Most common point I've seen is that Saul was not important to Robin's flashback. If Saul wasn't important to Robin's flashback, I mean, this isn't my main argument against it, but I just find it kind of funny because I'm just like, if it wasn't that, then why is a whole chapter dedicated to the reunion? If it doesn't fucking matter. I mean, this is not my main argument against it, all right? This is not my main argument against it, but I just think it's funny that people tried to downplay this whole thing when I'm just like, then why the fuck was the heart? How is the reunion chapter where they meet again so fucking heartbreaking and emotional and beautiful, and the whole crew's crying and Robin's crying and Saul's crying and Oda dedicated a whole chapter to it and everything like that? If Saul wasn't an important part of it, I don't understand. This is again, not my main argument. I just think it's funny that people even bring that up. You know? Let's see. What's the IHOP challenge? Why are we even getting to 1,000 points? 1,000 points is not a real thing. Let's see. Okay, what are some actual challenges that people are interested in? 1,000 points to bring the Morj plush back? I would have to work with that company again, and that's makeshift. Eric said, lol, he's back. I'm so done with you, Eric. Eric and I had our discussion in DMs or whatever. Eric still has not put out an apology tweet, which I feel... I don't need an apology tweet. But Eric knows that he misrepresented what I was saying for cheap likes on Twitter, just like Oda misrepresented Saul's death scene for cheap emotions out of the reader. That's all I'll say. Eric knows that he... Love you, Morj, baby. Thanks for the 2, Eric. God damn it, man. L, thanks for being a Yonko tier member for 22 months. The number 3 of the Holy Knights will arrive at Elbaf, paralleling Mr. 3 at Little Garden. Oh, shit, we're getting into predictions? Here? Okay, let's put predictions somewhere else, all right? We'll put predictions here just to keep it simple, and then if we need to expand somewhere else, we'll do it there as well. Okay. Yeah, let's get into some of these. The fuck? You're saying what? Habanero? I could do that. Yeah. Okay, we'll list out a bunch of penalties and then we'll assign points to them. The number 3 of the Holy Knights will arrive paralleling Mr. 3 at Little Garden. I think that's an interesting theory for sure. It's a very interesting theory. The funny thing about this is that you'd be correct if, like, all of the Holy Knights showed up, you know? Because, like, then Mr. 3 would also show up. Okay, so Morj eats habanero or similar spicy thing. All right, that's an example. Read One Kingdom chapter on stream. Make an in defense of Wano video at 500. That's kind of funny. I think that's funny. Make an in defense of Wano video. That would be something really high. We'll figure out the point totals later. Tom says dragon looks kind of east. Dragon looks kind of east. Aliato 5, thanks to the 5. Prediction for next chapter. We'll at least hear about how Saul and the Elbaf Giants got together to pick up Ohara's books. Maybe a library tour. Okay. I agree with that. I feel like that's not bold enough, man. Can you give me a different one? I'll say library tour, but we need to get bolder than that to make it onto the thing. Dragon looks east. Wait, who said dragon looks east? Sorry, 1 second. Who said dragon looks east? Fuck, who said dragon looks east? I missed this. Oh, TomTom. Alright. TomTom. Manny says chapter makes people cry equals people defend anything. I agree. I have an idea that might not be a good idea. Let's see. I don't want to do a whole other video. That just seems excessive. Doing a whole other video is excessive. I don't think my editor wants to edit another one of these videos. Maybe a library tour. Okay, so Aliath05 has library tour. Christian Braza, thanks for the 5. The argument Robin only knew Saul for like a day to justify the fake out diminishes his role in their flashback, and in turn the reunion, dumb as fuck. That's what I'm saying, which is that, like, well, then you only get one or the other, right? Like, either the the reunion was shit because it didn't really matter, or you know what I mean? Like, what is it significant or not significant? That's what I'm saying. L, thanks for the 2. Bald Morj, 1,000 points. I'm never gonna do that, so I unfortunately can't put it up. The real Linskov, thanks for being a Pirate King to remember for 15 months, man. Holy shit. For chapter 1134, the best I got is they will go to the Owl Library, and Saul will give some more info about the horror research. Is that too bland? It is, and we already got that from Aliath05. Maybe Saul will tell more about why you shouldn't stay too long. I could see that. Saul explains why you shouldn't stay too long. Real Linskov. Okay, what if, tell me if this is a good idea or not. Tell me if this is a good idea or not. I invite the people of Twitter to a Monday debate. I invite the people of Twitter to a Monday debate. I invite them. I invite something like, I will go on Twitter right now, post about the video again, and just say whoever if you disagree, whatever response gets the most likes, they're invited to debate it with me on Twitter. How about that? Does that sound like a good idea? Does that sound fun? They're allowed to debate it with me. Not allowed to, that sounds stupid. But they come debate it with me live on stream Monday. Because that's my only thing with Twitter, which is just that you can misconstrue or misrepresent or just straight up lie about the video because people aren't watching the video. So there's no way for me to be correct, ultimately, because I can say something in the video, and then they just say, well, he didn't say this in the video. I'm like, but I did. And I can't go and give timestamps for every single fucking person. I have other things to do. So once I realized that's the real issue here, now I'm just like, okay, well, I would love to see these Twitter people who make threads, etc. How do they debate if they actually have to respond to things that are actually being said instead of like what they want to pretend is being said? That's what I would like to say. I'm not going to debate everybody. I think that'd be way too many people. That'd be way too many people, but I could just be like, whoever gets the most likes or something, you get to come on. If I have to debate like 10 people at once, then I'm just going to get talked over. So I could do most likes, or maybe 3 people who get the most likes or something like that. And then we just do them in order. Vin says, no, do not do it. They'll never have real arguments. Yeah, but that's the fun of it, right? That's the fun of it. That's my thought. Yokai Gota says, Morj going on his Destiny arc. No, I don't fucking want to do that shit. I'm just going to do this as a one-time thing. Maybe I'll do it for the Wano video as well. You know? Canute Oregon, thanks for being a Pirate King tier member for 5 months. Next chapter, we found out the name of the ancient kingdom. Next chapter. Whoa! Holy shit. Personal prediction is that the name is Laputa. Dude, if you're right on that, then, like, you earned, like, 10 shoutouts. Okay. Thanks for being a Pirate King tier member for so long, by the way. Find out name of ancient kingdom. Extra prediction. It's Laputa. Canute Worgen. Straw Choco, thanks a lot. 120 equals TikTok dance of your choice. Upload to YouTube Shorts. Unfortunately, I'm not doing any dances. Dances are off the... I'm just going to make this rule. Dances are not allowed as penalties. Or anything else. Yeah. You will never see me dance. Eric Tolado, thanks to 2. Saul was Shanks' old friend he was talking about. Maybe. There's also that other unknown guy at the island, you know? Saul has a girlfriend slash wifey. Okay, yeah, maybe. That's an interesting point. Saul has a GF slash wifey. Maybe it's Gerd. Maybe it's Gerd. This is from B. Aether, thanks to 2. Silhouetted man will be revealed. Oh yeah, I think that's a simple. That's almost too low hanging fruit, but we can roll with that. Silhouetted man will be revealed. Aether. Brooke is the GOAT. Thanks for being a Pirate King to remember for 6 months. Sup, Morj. Putting my prediction in now. Next chapter, the silhouetted character will make a move towards Loki. Talk to him / plan to recruit him. Found a funny meme on Saul. Okay, so you will not get credit. No, you can get credit. Found a funny meme on Saul. Check it out in the comments. Okay, I'll check it out. I assume comments of the video, right? Okay, so if because I think that's enough of an extension on Aether's idea that it's all good. Okay. Silhouetted man will talk to Loki. Hold on. Brooke is the GOAT. Hold on. Ray, thanks for being a parking to remember for 5 months. Nah, don't do that, Morj. People are going to come with bad faith, so nothing you say is going to change their minds. The goal is not going to be to change their minds. That is not the goal. The goal is basically just pure debate. I don't care if I change their minds. I would just like to expose the poor reasoning or the poor arguments that they're using, right? That's very, very different. Those are two very, very different things. My goal is not to change people's minds. My goal is just basically, here are my actual arguments. I want to see you engage with these arguments, right? And then, if they engage in a way that seems whatever, like not in good faith or misconstruing or whatever, something like that. That is what it is, but at least it will be live on stream for people to see, so there can be no misconstruing of what I'm saying. And that's my only thing, They can say whatever the fuck they want, but I want them to I want it to be clear what I am actually saying, and then see if their responses are lining up. That's what I'd like to see. I don't want any more of this, just post a screenshot of my video, and then an account saying, Morj claims this, but blah, 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 and I'm just like, no, Morj does not claim that, because you can watch the video and see that I don't claim that. Or, Morj claims this, but he forgets to mention. I'm like, I fucking mention it. It's in the video. This is insane. That's my desire. Dick so small I piss on balls, thanks for the 5. Death is sad because you want the character to live. The drama you mentioned stokes those feelings, so the joy when they miraculously live is stronger. Marco Cadillo, thanks for the 2. Cross-Guild lore, Gecko Moria joins you, win debates. What? Cross-Guild lore, what? Cross-Guild lore, Gecko Moria joins? Cross-Guild lore, Gecko Moria joins? Okay, let's see. Okay, you're saying we get, these are two separate statements. We get Cross-Guild lore plus Gecko Moria joins. Marco Cadillo. Definitely think that's possible. Ignorant Weed, thanks for the 20. Thanks a lot, man. Really, I appreciate it. Thank you. Not official, but I predict that the next time we see Morgans, we will get the joke of Morgan saying that he compromised his ethics by putting X on that paper for her, and Vivi will say that he never had any ethics to begin with. Okay, that's funny. I'll throw down your. I'll say we get to see Morgans / Vivi interact. I'll give you that. Ignorant. Otherworlds JT, thanks for the 20. End of story prediction. The true source of devil fruits will be discovered. Then they will cease to exist by end of story, stripping those cursed by them. Smile, devil fruit, of the plan of the pains of their devil fruit. You should do an end of story stream prediction to come back 2 years later. We're not doing end of story predictions, but let's see. So you're saying the true source of devil fruits will be discovered. Then they will cease to exist. Oh, shit. Oh, and that will cure smile fruits. That's really interesting. You should do an end of streams prediction to come back to you. Yeah, maybe we do that. It's an interesting idea. Somebody remind me of that stream idea next stream. L, thanks for the 2. Video defending Usopp as best character, 300 points. I could do that. Yeah, sure. Video defending Usopp, because I think Usopp's a genuinely great character. As long as I am allowed to wait till a good opportunity to drop the video, because I don't want to drop it in a week that there's a lot of other interesting shit going on. But if we get a good Usopp chapter or whatever, as long as I can pick the window when I do it, we could set a time frame, like I have to do it within X number of months or something like that. But if we get a chapter where Usopp does something, I'd be happy to drop a video explaining why I think Usopp is the best character, because Usopp actually has an argument for best character in One Piece. He is the most human of the Straw Hats. Fading Phase, thanks for being a Pirate King to your member for 2 months. Hey Morj, hope you're having a good day. What are your thoughts on the new Elden Ring Battle Royale that was announced last night? I'm just not that interested in it. I still haven't played Elden Ring. Maybe if I'd played Elden Ring, I'd be more interested, but I prefer their single-player experiences because I just never play the multiplayer stuff in those games. So, I thought it was cool to see the Nameless King in there. That was cool. So I'm curious about what the full concept is, but I'm more so looking forward to FromSoft's next single-player game. I thought we saw Sekiro deflecting in there, which is very exciting because it indicates that... So Miyazaki, he dropped a quote recently where he basically explained that he feels like they got very close to the type of combat he would actually like in his games with Sekiro, but he still feels like it can be improved. So I think the next single-player game that we get from Software, I think that might have its best combat yet. Something even better than Sekiro. Alieth05, thanks for the 5. I'm going to narrow my prediction. We're going to get a flashback of how Saul convinced the Elbaf giants to help him. Is that still too weenie? I like that. Let's do that. Okay, let's do that, Alieth. Let's do that. Let's say Library Tour is too weak and it's off limits now. We get flashback of how Saul convinced Elbaf giants to help him. I would like that, and I think it's realistic. Madfish, thanks for the 20, man. Thank you so much. Morj, I saw 2001 as a kid and did not understand it at all. I always miss themes and through lines in general. Advice on what to look for and appreciate when I rewatch tonight. Also, full names and address reveal when. We're not going to do that last part. That's not going to be a penalty. But I would say this with 2001. When I first watched 2001, I was in, I believe, 12th grade. I think it was senior year of college. Or not college, high school. And I was either 11th or 12th grade. And I had a lot, how to explain this? The movie really drew me in and had me transfixed from start to finish in a way that no other movie did. However, the ending left me confused. And it was frustrating because I was like, I don't think I got it. I think I missed it. So then, at first I was just like, I'm just going to mentally write this off as, I didn't like the movie. I guess I just didn't enjoy it because I was frustrated that I felt like I didn't get it right off the bat. But then I couldn't help but continually feel like, I would think about it a little bit and be like, shit, that was really, really, there's no other movies that I've watched that are like that. There was something that was about the way that was done that was really, really effective, even if I felt frustrated that I didn't get it the first time around, right? And then after a certain point, I was like, there's no shame in that. I started looking up, more themes and ideas, the movie was trying to communicate, and I felt better after having looked it up, and I was like, oh shit, it enhanced the experience for me, but the crazy thing is I already really, really love the movie just as an experience, right? Without even understanding the full ideas that were coming together by the end. I just loved it as an experience. I couldn't get it out of my head. I was just like, I can't just write this off I can't just write this off as, something that I'm just not going to give a shit about because I know that was just a really unique experience that made me feel certain things and, just grabbed my mind in a way and my imagination in a way that no other movie has done till then or since. So it was okay at the end of the day that I didn't understand the full message, That's totally okay. I would say this, which is that there's a big difference between... I'd say there's a big difference between, having trouble picking up on themes and through lines versus not getting 2001, because 2001 is extremely abstract, very little dialogue. I personally think it is perfectly natural to not fully understand the messages of it on first watch. I think that is 100% natural and normal. So don't stress about that. Try and think about why we're getting every single act that we're getting and what the common thread of progression seems to be, right? And if you're trying to get better at thinking about themes and through lines in general, then something very simple is just, I think themes are often, part of it is that 2001 doesn't focus on characters almost at all, okay? So in general, for stories very often, you can pick up on themes just by focusing on characters. And if you focus in on okay, who are the main character focuses? What's the commonalities between what these characters are experiencing? If the characters are changing, what's the message that's associated with their change? And then everything else will suddenly start to click in around that, because then you'll realize that, because this is this character's story in this arc, or this story, or storyline, whatever, movie, book, whatever, it makes sense that like these plot events are happening or this sort of symbolism is happening. Like once you pick up on like what the character is the easiest way generally for a story to communicate its themes, and then everything else is like more and more layers that click together to make you understand that. Proly Hister, thanks for the first super ever. First ever donation in my life. Keep up the great work, Morj. Your videos and streams help me through tough times for real. Any advice on how to get through breakup though, lol? I don't know. I've never had a really brutal breakup, so I actually don't know. Like, I would say what most people say, which is just take some time to focus on yourself or something. Think about why, like, what went wrong in that relationship. Was it you? Was it her? Or them? Whatever it might be. And then just treat it as a learning experience going forward. But I don't have the best advice for that. But thank you for the first super ever. I'm glad that I've been able to help you get through some tough times. Sorry if that wasn't the best advice for this time, but I think just, you know, focusing on not being the end of the world, focusing on yourself for a little bit, and really doing after you give yourself some you time, right, then trying to reflect on what happened and is it something that you need to work on, or was it all her? Or them, whatever it may be. Jolly D. Joso, thanks for 200 points equals video not on One Piece. Okay, so actually, I'm talking with Radman right now, and we've got I had an interesting Hunter x Hunter theory that I've been teasing for a little bit, and with the events of the latest chapter, I want to drop it even more. So I just bounced off of him to see, like, how, like, Hunter x Hunter accurate it is, and he seems to think it has merit, so I might bounce off a little bit more with him and then drop a Hunter x Hunter video. So, let's see. Drop video not One Piece. I might do that anyway without us hitting any sort of goal. So let's see on that. Also, let's get the stream. Why can't I see stream likes right now? For some reason, I can see stream. Let's get the stream likes up to 100 real quick. Let's get the stream likes up to 100. If we get the stream likes up to 100, I will throw the gauntlet down on Twitter, people. I'll throw the gauntlet down. I will invite whoever gets the most likes disagreeing with my video to debate me on Monday. Dare Boppler, thanks for the 2. Saul explains why he did not search for Robin. Saul explains why he did not search for Robin. Saul explains why he did not search for Robin. What? Saul? Oh, I see. Yeah, I could see that happening. Tom, thanks for the 5. Zoro and Sanji have a hunting competition, or Dory and Brogy are reminded of why their fighting started. Can we get a dead Saul emoji? Love the content. I don't want to keep bringing up dead Saul in this. Like, I'm not trying to, like, make a meme out of it or anything like that. I just don't think it's good. But I don't think it's, like, the worst thing that's happened in One Piece, not by a long shot. Dory and Brogy are reminded of why their fighting started. Oh, shit. Zoro and Sanji having a hunting competition would be so controversial at this point in the story. Hunting competition... or Dory and Brogy remember start of their competition. And that's Tom. Dick so small, I piss on my balls, thanks for the 5. Just, prediction. Saul and Robin discuss meaning of D and the ancient language. I really don't want to hash through a bunch of Saul arguments again here. That's like a whole... fucking whatever. I'm not trying to get back into it right now. Monday, I will try and probably dip my toes back into that. If we have whoever on, we can talk about it again then. Prediction, Saul and Robin discuss meaning of D and the ancient language. Saul and Robin discuss meaning of D and the ancient language. Saul and Robin discuss meaning of D and the ancient language. If we get that, that'd be a juicy chapter to... Do we think that this is going to be the last chapter for the year? Is this going to be the last chapter of the year? Jolly D. Joester says, LMAO, who just wants to do this. I do want to do this. I think I'm just going to go ahead and do it. Eric J.O., thanks for being a Yonko tier member for 14 months. We see Saul's classroom and students, and Robin is reminded of studying at Ohara because of it. Also, you the goat, Morj, man. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. We see Saul's classroom and students. I think that would be really sweet. We can throw that in. I think library tour is a little tame because we already know that a library exists, but like this is maybe a little more specific. Saul gives classroom tour and Robin reminded of studying in Ohara. But Robin was never put in the classrooms in Ohara, right? Oh, this is Dick so small. No, I mean, she did study a little bit. Okay, hold on. Let's do penalties first real quick, because we're about to scroll past it. Or I can just make this stuff smaller. Okay, let me just make it smaller. Let me make it smaller. We get some more space. Some more space in here. Yeah, there we go. There we go. So we can move everything up a little bit. I guess I don't need to move. Nah. It's not about moving things up, right? Because I can just change the spacing of it. Here, like, we gotta move all of this shit to here. I think that works. That works. I like that. Okay, so we got a little bit more space here. Should I make this smaller as well? Nah, we'll keep it at medium and shrink it if needed. We'll keep it at medium, shrink it if needed. TomTom says more prediction. Oda makes an impromptu SBS to tell Morj to drop the Wana video. Wana video coming soon. I am happy I dropped the Saul video first because it gives me an idea of how people may misframe the Wana video once the Wana video comes out. So I gotta be prepared for that. For sure. Yeah. Do we have any more additional penalties that we want to get in? Penalty law cosplay? Okay, as long as I'm allowed to do a shitty cosplay. Like, I don't want to drop money on this. As long as I can do a shitty cosplay. Like one where I just put on the hat and like a black coat or something. Another raid fail theory. Goot says 500 points equals bring back movie Morj. That can't be dependent on points. Marcus Shabia says cringing as a graphic designer. Marco Cadillo, thanks for the 2. Penalty, Buggy, or Moria cosplay. Ah, shit. No, we got the law cosplay. How many cosplays how many cosplays do I gotta do for this? Oh, also, before I forget. Okay, Monday stream, we're trying to do this. We're trying to do a charity stream. So I'm also trying to think of content to do for that stream. That's why I'm more okay with, doing a debate or something like that. We're going to do the poster tier list on Monday. So are there any other fun things that wouldn't normally be their own stream that you guys can think of for the Monday stream? Monday, we're probably going to do a charity stream. Because that's something that's been talked about for a little bit. Is Sean Easton in here? Sean Easton want to chime in? Because the idea was doing charity for people affected by the hurricane. At the same time, there's certain things that at least have affected my family members that I want to look into as well. So I think I'm just set on like Monday probably doing a charity stream of some sort. So I'm going to see if we do hurricane or a cause that I'm more interested in. Ignorant Weed, thanks for the 20. Not sure if I could catch the next few streams. Thanks for the 20 a lot. Like, thanks so much, man. I really appreciate it. Till the end of the year, don't even worry about it. But I really want to shout out Benny from channel Comic Storian and Manga Storian who died this year. Oh my god. He was just at the start of Wano and he was a really cool guy. Oh my god. I've not heard about these channels. I'm really sorry to hear that. Do you guys know about these channels? Y'all know about these channels? Damn, that's crazy. Shit, I'm sorry to hear that. Jolly D Joestar, thanks to 2. 300 points, collab with Jay and Murphy. Yeah, sure, I can do that. I'm generally trying to stay away from collabs as much as possible that are outside of my usual schedule, but as a penalty, I'm okay with that. Collab with Jay and Murphy. That's up to Jay if he wants to set that up, but I can set that as a penalty, and then it's not on me if he doesn't set that up. He was a good YouTuber. Yeah, he's goated. Shoot, I don't know. What did he pass away from? What did he pass away from? Can you guys tell me? Wait, let me take a look. Because I might even... Hold on.
Without his...
No, I don't think I know this person. I don't know this channel. there was one YouTube channel that I used for a tiny bit, like a tiny window, to that would narrate various comic storylines, like DC Marvel comic storylines. I wasn't into that. I watched it because one of my friends was trying to get me into it. Like, I had always read DC storylines when I was young, but I'd fallen off of like any interest in that later on. So I had a friend who was trying to get me back into it, so he suggested me a YouTube channel to watch the recap. So like I started watching like the Kingdom Come storyline and everything like that on there. And while it was interesting, I ultimately fell off. I thought it might be him, but I guess it's not. Oh, a driving accident. Okay, I think I heard about that. I might be wrong. That's sad. Shit. Damn. Yamato has a character, just doesn't change during the arc. Yeah, exactly. Yamato is basically the same. Ender says, from Tom, penalty, Jay and Brago each get to make a tweet of their choice on your account. No, we're not doing that. That is insane. That is crazy work. That's not happening. No, that's never happening. That's not happening. That's simply not happening. Yeah, let's see. I only ever like DC. I know Marvel's more popular. Why do people like Marvel better? Can anybody explain, like, why are Marvel comics better than DC? Tom says Morj doesn't trust his friends. Your friends are more likely to write insane shit on your social media profiles than anybody else. We all know that. Let's not pretend here. We all know. Would watch his vids instead of reading comics. I think it was hard. Oh, because the movies? No, because I think Marvel was more popular than DC even before the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I do remember that. I remember that it had higher sales even before the MCU. I think I might be wrong, but that's what I remember because I was like a DC fan growing up, and so it always surprised me to hear that Marvel was actually did better than DC in terms of sales overall. And then I think once the MCU came out, it just became unfair. It was just like, shit, like they got it. It's done. Tom says that definitely isn't true. That's from what I remember, because I just remember as a kid, like this is what I would kind of look up. I think I remember if I went to Barnes and Nobles or whatever, I think there was more space devoted to Marvel than DC. I remember if I would look up lists of like greatest like superheroes or greatest supervillains or whatever, the list would generally be like 65-35 Marvel DC. That's just what I saw. X-Men, Spider-Man has always been super successful. I think Marvel also had like just a lot of like, I think DC's got like Superman, Batman, obviously the most recognizable heroes historically. But then Marvel just had like a lot of random stuff, like Spider-Man, obviously, but then obviously X-Men. And then on top of X-Men, they got like the Hulk. Hulk was already pretty popular from what I remember. Captain America was at least recognizable. I don't know. I think that there was maybe more cultural consciousness of Marvel stuff, whereas like but I mean, Wonder Woman is also recognizable. Flash. I think there was a drop off after Flash, like Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, Flash, and then there's a drop off. I don't know. Might just be wrong in terms of recognizability, not like how good is this character or whatever. I think Green Lantern, like if you asked a boomer who Green Lantern is, I don't think they'd know. If you asked a boomer like who's Martian Manhunter or something, I don't think they would know. At least like 10 years ago, you know. I don't know. Yeah, Fantastic Four. Like I think Marvel had like DC's heavy hitters, like its most popular shit was always really well known, like its core handful. And then I think Marvel, it had Spider-Man in that same tier, probably the Hulk the same tier of just like instant recognizability, and then it had a shit ton of stuff that's like generally recognizable to more people, even if it's not like quite the same level. So I think DC has a bit of it's like top heavy. This is I'm talking about like a 15 years ago or whatever. Like now I think Marvel's got like so many characters that are just recognizable like to so many people. Like Iron Man, obviously, Captain America, obviously, like Sorry, Thor, obviously. People didn't fucking know who Thor... Like, if you said Thor, people would think about, like, the Norse god. Now, if you say Thor, people think about fucking Marvel's Thor, you know? Yeah, Daredevil. Yeah. This is just what I remember. This is just what I remember. This is my memories. I might be mistaken. I might be mistaken. Let me see one thing. One second. Let me see something. Okay. Where was I at? The Trinity? Yeah. My favorites are X-Men. DC has a more coherent style, says Potato Lover 273. Marvel is more of a hodgepodge of very different characters and settings. I am of the crazy opinion that, like, I don't think it's that crazy, but I'm of the opinion that I think that a lot of these universes would be better off if they just remained in their own universe. Like, I think Batman is written so differently. Not universes. I think a lot of these characters would be served better if they didn't have to share their universe with so many other characters. You know what I mean? Because I just think Batman is personally more interesting when, like, it's like him, Gotham, etc. And then the Batman you get when he's written with the Justice League is like a totally different character. It's like, it's funny because, like, in Gotham, he has to be, it's all about, like, he's like a detective and he's very grounded and human, and like someone like Bane is a challenge, or like Killer Croc or something like that. And yeah, he's got gadgets and shit, but it's not like overboard with it, at least in more like some older Batman stories that I remember just reading or whatever. But then once he's with the Justice League, it needs to go like way the other direction, because suddenly now you have like a human guy who's just human, and he's alongside all of these ridiculously powerful beings. So now the concept of what it means to be like a rich guy with like martial arts training, or like peak of human ability or whatever, it has to get stretched and stretched. So he has to become like a super genius, like comparable to Lex Luthor or whatever. And he's got so many tricks up his sleeve, and like it skews the character quite a bit. I don't know. I feel like there's a good number of characters. Like, I don't know, like Spider-Man. I'm not a huge comics reader, at least not these days, so maybe I shouldn't be speaking on this. But like, I don't know, I just feel like Spider-Man, maybe if he wasn't also in a like alongside like sharing New York with like fucking all these other superheroes or whatever, I think it might be more like taking his threats a bit more. It feels weird when like Doc Ock is doing shit or whatever, and you know that there's other way more powerful heroes that can deal with this. Like, it feels a little different to me, you know? Feels a little different to me. I think it just, yeah. I don't know. Hold on, scrolling down. Dioclea, thanks for bringing a Yonko tier member for 24 months. To be honest, if Usopp or another Strahd dies, I legit wouldn't believe it, because all of the fake got deaths, and wouldn't probably feel all that sad, and that's fucked up. I could see Oda doing a false death scene for Usopp. I definitely could. I definitely could. I think, like, I could see that, you know? I could ultimately see that. I'm going to go ahead and throw down the gauntlet. It's just going to happen. Let me do this. Let me just do this. Let me do this for me. I just want to see. I might be setting myself up for a shit ton more backlash, but, you know, in for a penny, in for a pound, right? Here we go. Oh, actually, I can just, yeah. Why not? We're doing it. I'm gonna put this up. Let me put this up. Here we go. right. Yeah. All right, what are we saying? What are we saying? What are we saying here? What are we telling the people? What are we telling the people? What's the challenge? What's the challenge? Let me see chat here. What are we telling the people? Help me out here. What are we telling the people? Noobish Wizard, welcome to Yonko. Thanks for joining. I appreciate it. Thanks for joining. I appreciate it, y'all. Check out the podcast that just dropped. It is also about Saul's death. It covers some things that I left out of the video. But yeah, thanks for joining. I appreciate the support. All right, here we go. What are we saying, y'all? Jolly D. Joe says Monday debate. Are you wrong or are you right? Find out now. We're saying fuck Saul, come slide for Oda. What do you thought? Okay. Most likes response will be given an opportunity to defend their arguments. I've live on stream Monday. That seems like a reasonable way to say it. That's it. Let me add some spice to it. You saying most like responses will be given an opportunity. I like that. Seen a lot of accounts straight up lying about this video's arguments, and people eat that up instead of watching themselves. Come on, characters. Yeah. Whoever disagrees, this vid, most like responses, come debate me on Monday's stream. See you actually engage with. Let's see you engage with my actual arguments. Yeah. Is this fine? You think this is okay? This seems pretty reasonable. I think this is not that. I don't think that's that crazy, right? Marco Cadillo, thanks for the 2. Penalty, cosplay as Saul. Cosplay as a corpse? What am I doing? Attilio, thanks for the 5. Mr. Morj, is this common discourse that you tend to experience something that existed amongst friends and family even before YouTube, or is it solely YouTube? I think I've never shied away from saying like opinions that I feel like might be controversial to other people, but at least in person you can engage with and discuss those things. And like I've always liked to argue. I've always liked to present points that, you know, may go against the grain. I did mock trial, high school, college. I did debate in high school and college, more so college. I did ethics bowl and everything like that. I've always liked that sort of thing. And honestly, like in real life, I, at least over the years, right, like from my young adulthood onwards, I know to keep that part of me in check, you know, because like ultimately, like lots of these things, they don't matter, right? They don't matter. But this is different in that this is like YouTube, which is like I put in a shit ton of time and effort into this video, right? This is like, you know, I put a shit ton of time and effort into this video. So if you're going to slander my name, then like I'm actually going to if you want to critique what I'm saying, that's one thing. But if you're just gonna do it in a baseless way where you're not actually responding to what I'm saying, but then lying about what I'm saying for other people, that's gonna bother me, right? So like in the past, if I have disagreements with people or whatever, it's in real life. You're ultimately talking to a real person. You can have healthy discussion, etc. Right? But this is different. A bit passive aggressive. Okay. Seen a lot of videos straight up lying about. Maybe it's a bit aggressive. Let's say misrepresenting. Presenting. To be the case. Instead of watching themselves. How about that? Seen a lot of accounts straight up representing people. Whoever disagrees. Okay, this is too much. Most like response. Come debate me on Monday stream. Yeah, how about that? Whoever disagrees with this, most like response. Come debate me on. This seems fine. Whoever disagrees with this vid, most like response, come debate me on Monday stream. How about that? How about that? This is fair, right? This is fair. This is not too controversial. This is nothing crazy, right? Nothing insane. Nah, it wasn't passive aggressive. Okay, well then I'll add it back in. Come debate me on Monday stream. Engage with my actual arguments instead of engage with my actual arguments. Let's just say that. Whoever's most likely how about that? Do you want the end or no? Zoltan, thanks for the 10. Hey Morj, I've been arguing with people at Saul and feels like I'm being gaslit that fake out debts were never a problem in One Piece. Lol, keep up the good work. Most likely to come debate me live on Monday stream and engage with my actual arguments. How about that? Is that okay? W? All right, we're going to roll with this. Seen a lot of accounts straight up misrepresented arguments. People accept that to be the case instead of watching themselves. Whoever disagrees with this video, most likely response, come debate me with actual arguments. All right, do we do a thumbs up? How about a thumbs up? Thumbs up. Thumbs up to seal it? Thumbs up to seal it? Thumbs up to seal it? Make it friendly? Make it palatable for the general masses? Thumbs up or no thumbs up? Add a middle finger emoji, says Tom. That's what my heart says, but my mind says that is just not an intelligent thing to do. And I should try to keep things, chill. Ignorant Weed, thanks for the 5. Caesar Admiral level since he low diff Katakuri and Oven Shiroro. Also, UO's best waifu stream and PS5 giveaway Deri Shishishi. Okay, I can throw on best waifu stream into the penalties. Okay, let me tweet this. Then I'll add best waifu stream onto penalties. Seen a lot of accounts here. Blah, blah, blah. All right, let's do it. Let's do it. All right, posted. It's done. What do we got next? So we're adding this to penalties. Let's just see what happens. Let's see what happens. All right. Penalties. Waifu stream. That's not the worst penalty. It'll just be a really high one. Like, you guys got to work for that one, Andrew L says, extreme penalty, make a Caesar agenda video. Make a Caesar agenda video, extreme penalty. Put a date on it. It's Monday. It's this Monday. Should I make that more clear? Tom says, why not bring Tom back so he can help Frankie build Pluton? I mean, Tom was never shown dead, so yeah, you could. I mean, that's my thing with all of this, which is that a lot of characters, they're never shown dead, but that's not Tom was shown more alive than fucking Saul was at the end of it, right? Tom was shown more alive than Saul was. Clover and Olvia were shown more alive than Saul was, right? Fucking Corazon. You can go look at fucking Corazon's death scene and just say, well, he's not technically dead because we don't have any way to confirm it. There's no way to confirm it. He's just lying in the snow. That's it. He's lying in the snow. What's the... the snow starts to cover his face. Ice fucking covered Saul's face. What's the difference? Eric J.O. says, Morj, can you credit me on the last prediction, please, bro? Okay, well, what was the last... Oh, shit, I see. I'm sorry. I thought you were talking about last stream. I'm like, I don't remember what this is. Eric J.O. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. Okay. Nate's Logic 2 says, doing research into this Saul stuff, I've discovered that Ovia is kind of trash and is way worse than Yasop lol. Wait, what? What does Ovia do? What does Ovia do? Can anyone explain what Ovia does? What's her deal? What's Ovia's deal? Microsoft Word says that's the clue. Lying in the snow. That's a good clue. Would have planted a real good clue for us right there. Apparatus is leaving her child behind with an aunt that hates her. That's true. I think with Ovia, it's like, was she left for like a good cause? Like Yasop just left to fuck around, right? But Yasop did leave Usopp with his mother. He left Usopp with his mother. Ovia just left, yeah. She like Harry Pottered Robin when she didn't need to Harry Potter Robin because she was still alive, you know? Yasop is Ovia coded. Yeah, Yasop was just... Yeah, so it's like how do you balance those two things? Because like Ovia's leave... But to be fair, I don't think Ovia was leaving necessarily for an important cause. She what like they discovered... Here's the thing. Ovia, they discovered over time that the poneglyphs were revealing something really big about the world and history. But their goal was just to uncover the history, right? Their goal was just uncover history. It's not like... So like Dragon and the Revolutionaries, their goal was actually to free the world. Ovia's goal was just to uncover history and learn more about what's happening, which is valuable for sure. Very valuable, but ultimately she was in it to gain more knowledge. Like there wasn't necessarily like an agenda like we need this to free people or to save the world from anything or anything. It's just like we literally just want to learn more about history. So she was going on these expeditions to learn more about history. Yasop went for an even lesser cause, which was to just drink and screw around. But with Yasop, at the very least, like he left the kid with the other parent, whereas with Ovia, she left her daughter with like family members that fucking hated her daughter and were abusive to her, right? Dragon, I think, has the best case because with Dragon, he's trying to free the world. Like, it's still not good to abandon your kid, but he's trying to free the world. He's the most wanted man in the world. It is objectively a lot safer for his kid. Like, once he has the kid and the kid exists, like, the argument against Dragon is that he should never have had Luffy in the first place, right? He should have had the foresight to, like, you know, wrap it up or get a vasectomy or do whatever the fuck, right? He should never have had Luffy. But once you've got a kid, then once you're in Dragon's position, it does make sense to, you know, leave him with your grandfather. That's not the worst thing in the world, right? I do think it's shitty that Dragon has not tried to touch base with or do anything with Luffy since Luffy has become a world... Like, I think post Enies Lobby, like, the moment that Luffy also declares war against the world government, now you have no excuse. Because now it's just like, okay, your kid's in the same boat as you are, right? Your kid actually shot down a world government flag probably even before you did, right? Dragon met Luffy at Loketown, so he did touch base there, but it's kind of like he could have said something or like connected with him there. I think like the moment Dragon connected with Luffy the moment that Luffy became a wanted man. I guess leaving it a little bit ambiguous, like not actually introducing himself to Luffy and keeping that distance, that does help because it stops Luffy from being even more on people's radars. But post Enies Lobby, it's like, dude, this is fucking Straw Hat Luffy, like one of the most infamous pirates in existence at this point. Like literally everybody fucking knows this dude's name. You being Dragon's son doesn't change that much. That's reflected in the fact that even once they found out who Dragon was his father, Luffy's bounty only went up like to 400 million. Right? It was still it's essentially the same thing. So at that point, the excuse that like, you know, this is to protect Luffy or anything, that's out the window, you know? At this point, he's a fucking Yonko. Right? Like, couldn't he couldn't he talk to him? I don't know why we got onto Dragon. Maybe I fucked up. I took us to Dragon. We don't need to be talking about Dragon right now, but Ignorant Weed saying thanks for the 5, man. Why does no one ever talk about the worst father in the series, Kalgara? The guy was pushing his daughter to commit suicide just to feed some snake. That is the worst father, but I think that like it is the worst father, but like you gotta understand that like those people literally believe, like truly, for them this is absolute unquestionable science that like this is to save literally all of them from dying, right? Like this is like they need to feed a sacrifice to the god. This is literally what they all believe, right? So when that's literally what, like, you can look at it as objectively that's not good, but like it would be kind of like oh, Dragon's trying to Dragon abandoned Luffy to fight against the world government, right? And you can see at least some merit to that because it's like, well, the world government's evil, so Dragon needs to fight the world government or whatever. So there's some merit to that, and it's just too dangerous for Luffy to be around, right? But that logic only holds because we, the reader, know that the world government is evil. What if the reality was that the world government was actually really good, and Dragon was actually just being a terrorist, and actually like, like the world government actually is pretty fucking awesome, and Dragon's actually just trying to screw stuff up for no reason, right? So you kind of got to judge characters based on like the framework that they are operating under, right? Like that whole, like all of the Chandra people, right? They genuinely believe, like Kalgara believes that this snake is their god, right? So he's going to operate as such in that he genuinely from the bottom of his heart believes that this is the right thing to be doing, right? Because that's just what the framework that they're all operating under. You know what I mean? Like a lot of actions could be viewed as like good or bad once you just swap the reality of what's happening around. And that just comes down to ignorance rather than just being a good or bad person. You know what I mean? Like, does that make sense? Cooler01 says Dragon letting Luffy live his dream. Yeah, but the only reason that this doesn't feel really... Like, if Luffy was written differently, like he was a different character... How do I say this? If Luffy wasn't Luffy, because Luffy's the only person in the world that thinks and behaves like Luffy, like, Dragon's lucky that his son is so pure and happy-go-lucky that he doesn't even care that he has a dad or not. Like, he was surprised when Garp mentioned that, like, oh, Luffy, you've got a father. Like, Luffy straight up didn't think about that, right? He feels no emotional trauma from any of that, right? For the average person, right? Like, if you swap Luffy for fucking whoever, they would probably feel some sort of way about their father not being there for them. Like, if Luffy was instead Rebecca, right? Then there would be some emotional trauma going on there, right? So, like, yeah, live your dream or whatever, but maybe drop in and say hi, hello, and introduce yourself or something, you know? Oh, sorry, we got some, what do you call? We got some, submissions here. Axan Morgan is a better father than Dragon. Technically, maybe. No, because Morgan straight up took Helmeppo hostage in order to free himself. Dragon would never do that. I think negligence is not as bad as straight up, like, that's just abusive at that point, right? Dragon hit the jackpot? Yeah. Let's not deviate from Ovia being a horrible parent. Yeah, I think, I agree. Ovia, what she did is not okay. Cadmos Gaming says Giants have a banquet. I'm down to put that down, but a lot of people have mentioned that maybe the banquet's going to be delayed for some reason. Giants have a banquet, that's Cadmos Gaming. Fuck, 3D Table says he didn't want to be alone as a kid, and why was he alone as a kid? Oh, shit. You're fucking right. I'm fucking stupid. I fucking forgot. You're fucking right. Yeah, Luffy did want to be alone as a kid. Or, sorry, did not want to be alone as a kid. That was actually his main source of pain. That's also probably why he fucking latched onto Shanks so hard, because that's like his first fucking father-type figure that's walked into his life. Because fucking Garp, well, it's not Garp's fault, because Garp never signed up for this shit, you know? Garp had Dragon. And then, like, Garp didn't sign up for, like, oh, Dragon, have a kid, and then I'll fucking take care of that kid. So it's not really Garp's fault, you know? Garp never did. Garp didn't sign up for this shit, you know? What am I thinking of? Yeah, I agree. I agree that, yeah, like, Luffy was traumatized by the lack of Luffy's brothers and Shanks ultimately, like the loneliness that Luffy would have otherwise felt, because Luffy does need people, it was ultimately filled by the existence of, you know, characters like Shanks, characters like, Ace, Sabo, even Dadan, stuff like that. So it worked out. Garp to a small degree. Treadmill mixes as we find out the Holy Knights live on the heaven level of the tree. That would be insane because that just doesn't make any sense to me. Like, why would that be allowed? But, you know, let's put it down. That would be a really cool reveal. Treadmill mixes. Carp's fault for raising a deadbeat. OG3 says, Yasop a worse parent than Kaido, Big Mom, and Judge. To be honest, he doesn't even have world domination as an excuse. He was a bad father for the love of the game. I think that abandoning the kid is not as bad as abusing them. And, like, Kaido fucking abused Yamato, you know? Kaido abused Yamato. Big Mom, I think, has literally killed several of her kids. If I forget. Or at least, like, beat the fuck out of them. Like, at least in her Hunger Pang modes, she's done that, you know? So, obviously Yasop's really bad, but I still put that above being, like, I think rock bottom is not caring for your kid and abandoning them and being negligent, and then below rock bottom, like hell, is doing all that other shit, you know? Like, actually actively making their life terrible, you know? Nate's Logic 2 says, he didn't help steal the Nika fruit for nothing. Yasop got plans. I don't know about that. Let's see. Casey says that's why Luffy so much wants Nakama. Basically found family instead of real family that neglected him. Holy shit. Like, just because Luffy never complains about that sort of thing, outside of, like, saying that he doesn't want to be alone when he's a kid, I never really put a lot of weight into the idea that Luffy has some sort of, like, emotional trauma and need for other people. Just because Oda usually doesn't frame him in that manner. He usually wants to portray Luffy as very cheerful, very happy. But that is a really, really, really good point, and I wonder if that's something that might come out when he meets with Dragon. Who knows? That'd be a really, really interesting slant for Luffy that late in the game. Like, it's a window that Oda could open up if he so chooses. TomTom says, Morj, Brook awakens his Devil Fruit and is able to revive any and every dead character. No, shit, man, I'm not putting that shit down. That is technically in the realm of possibility, though, right? It could happen, right? That's not outside the realm of possibility. Goku gave a Senzu bean to Cell. Yeah, he did. That was funny. Judge is crazy because he was abusive and abandoned Sanji. Yeah, I mean, Judge is one of the worst fathers. If we did a worst fathers tier, we could throw that in. Worst fathers tier list. There was another tier list idea that was thrown around this stream. Do you guys remember? There was a tier list idea that was thrown around towards the beginning of the stream. Or a stream topic or something like that. We could do worst fathers in One Piece. That could be fun. Nate's Logic 2 says, also my prediction is that it's revealed that Saul was one of the recruits of Mother Carmel. Ooh, that's an interesting one. Saul was one of the recruits of Mother Carmel. That's an interesting one. That's from Nate's Logic 2. TomTom says Minato put a demon inside his kid. Yeah, but that's like... That, like, had to... Like, they're fucking saving the village. I don't remember the whole logic of it, right? But it was only Naruto that could seal it because he had Kushina's DNA or something, and, like, Naruto was the only one there. I feel like it's more so the third Hokage who fucking, like... It's not like the third Hokage had to be a good parent to Naruto, but he could have fucking, like... There's so much that he could have done. Like, he didn't have to make people fear Naruto or something like that. He could have just told people the truth that this is the... Why'd he hide it again? Can anybody, like, can Naruto fans explain to me why did the third Hokage hide the fact that, like, Naruto was Minato's son? And, like, is there a reason that he didn't, like, have somebody, like, there's foster care and shit, like, nobody adopted him as far as I know or something? I don't know how he grew up in his first 10 years or so. Like, what was the deal? Why was it so important to hide the truth about Naruto? Pokalocus' poster tier list, Morj. We'll do that Monday. Monday will be a variety stream. We'll do some stuff, because it's just going to be a general charity stream, so we'll fit in some fun stuff. Minato did that to make Naruto a hero. Andrew Vermilon says he didn't want enemy villages coming for them. But how does being the fourth Hokage's son protect him? Or not protect him? Oh, the enemies of Minato might go after Naruto, I think? Okay. There was literally no reason every single villain knew. Minato had enemies? But then shouldn't... But what difference does that make, like... What... But why not just have Naruto grow up under, like, careful guard or something then, right? Because, like, by that logic, even if Minato and Kushina were still alive, then they would have to hide Naruto's existence because Naruto's enemies would come after him, right? Wouldn't it just be assumed that, like, okay, obviously you'd be a target, same way Kushina would be a target, right? Kushina's a target too, but you just have some level of security to try and protect them, right? Penpal1058, thanks for being a Pirate King tier member for 25 months. Kid shows up in a chapter / an update on Kid's situation in Elbaf since he got dummied. An update on Kid's situation. Oh yeah, shit. That'd be fun. I'd like that. Hold on. Kid shows up in a chapter. Kid shows up / update on Kid's situation. I like that. I hope that happens. I hope that there's a redemption storyline in here for Kid. I hope there's a redemption storyline. Zacharias Zacharus' QB is a big power. Enemy villages don't want it. Yeah, but isn't that why Naruto was ostracized? Because everybody knew he's the fucking QB? New X7 says not really. Minato is a deterrent. Without Minato, Konoha lost a big deterrent because of how powerful he was. Okay, I mean, I think that's fair. That makes sense. That makes sense. Couldn't the third Hokage have framed it as, at the very least, like, this was a baby that Minato sealed it in, so the baby's a hero of the village? I guess maybe the third Hokage didn't have the power to spin the narrative, you know, the way that he wanted. TomTom says, Morj, we already did a father's tier list. Oh, I freaking forgot. Thanks, TomTom. Thank you. Yeah, I get what you guys are saying. OG3 says, I also think Hidden Leaf wasn't as strong after 4th Hokage died and they had to go back to old-ass 3rd. So what was funny is, like, when I was young and I wasn't, like, into Naruto, but, like, I kind of, like, I wasn't watching and reading it, but I kind of knew some stuff about it. I was really confused because everybody talked about how, like, or not everybody, but you would see online, like, the 4th Hokage was the predecessor to the 3rd Hokage. So in my mind, it was like, okay, so they've got, like, a backwards numbering system and sorry, my dog's yawning. And we're counting down to the first Hokage for some reason. I didn't understand exactly, but I thought that was kind of badass in my mind. I was like, okay, so it's just going to go backwards. And I just assumed that that's what the story was. This is before I'd watched a single episode, right? But I was just like, okay, so 4th Hokage, and then you get to the 3rd Hokage, and then there'll probably be a 2nd, and then maybe Naruto would be the 1st Hokage, because I knew Naruto wanted to be first Hokage or something. So I was like, so there's something going on in this numbering system. Jolly D. Joe starts to show Harley. Oh, you guys know Harley's name? Oh, shit. I mentioned it a few times now. All right, y'all. I'm going to call stream in the next 5 minutes, by the way. I think we got a good roster of predictions. I do want to look at these penalties. I like the penalties. I'm going to put my prediction, which is we find out there is a god/gods in heaven realm. That's me. Do y'all think this is the final chapter of the year? Do y'all think that this is the end? Final chapter? Are we getting another chapter this year? After this one? If I were to order this in terms of, like, worst to best, I think one Kingdom chapter on stream. I'll say the things that I'm going to order it in terms of what I don't want to do the most, okay? In terms of what I don't want to do the most, I'm cool with doing a video defending Usopp. I'd be happy to drop a video not on One Piece, but it would be like an additional video on top of our regular workload schedule. Like, it's something I'm probably going to do soon anyway. But I want it to be, like, in a window that makes sense. So we can do drop video not on One Piece. I'm cool with doing a law cosplay. That's not the worst thing in the world, as long as I'm allowed to do an easy, shitty cosplay with just the hat and like a black coat. Collab I'm putting pretty high up just because collab is actually a pretty big time commitment. I would have to find time outside of my usual time. I guess so would be a drop video on not on One Piece. Video defending Usopp doesn't fall in that category because that can just be a normal video that I put out. Make an in defense of Wano video. Yeah, I could put that out. It's the drop video not on One Piece. The only I would love to do it. The only problem is that it's a big time commitment because I would have to do that outside of my usual. Like I don't want to skip a regular One Piece video upload, so I'd be doing an additional video on top of that. This is the order of penalties as far as I see. This is the order of penalties. I'm gonna say Habanero is probably worse than reading One Kingdom chapter on stream. Okay, so we just got to figure out some values for One Piece. Elsa's goofiest One Piece character design tier list. I think that's too similar to One Piece character design. I don't know if that's a fun enough stream. Like, that's a stream that'll appeal to some people, but not like a crazy popular stream. I want to do a stream that like is gonna get everyone pumped. This is the last chapter. It's the final official chapter of the year. Okay. Another prediction, another Yamato cover story, nothing of a burger. The problem is that that's very likely to happen, so I can't list that. NewX7, thanks for the 2. Dondadon, episode 7, traveling to Brazil next week. Oh, awesome. Have a fun trip, man. Are you going to see the statue? That's where the big statue is, right? Unless I'm mixing it up with something else. Maybe I'm mixing it up with, like, Colombia or something like that. I think that's Brazil, right? Dondadon, is it episode 7? I thought it'd be, like, episode 9 or something that's coming out now. We have not watched it yet. We'll probably watch it tonight. So I can update you all about that later. TomTom says, Morj, make a chat command that tells us the current amount of Morj coins. TomTom, can you remind me of that on Monday? Can you remind me of that on Monday? And then I can make a note for our assistant. That's a great point. Great point. Okay. All right. Oh, Kenji says, bingo predictions for One Piece 2025. Yeah, that'll be fun too. Let's do that. That might be to kick off the stream in the new year. All right, bingo prediction, commands. Bingo prediction and commands. I'll make a note here. All right, y'all. I'm probably going to call stream here. I think we're all good. We got some good predictions. If I were to guess right now, I would say number 3 of Holy... I think the Saul-related stuff is very likely. Saul-related stuff and maybe explain Silhouette Man. I think ending the year explaining Silhouette Man might be good. And then finally, maybe finding out if there's what's in Heaven Realm. I'm biased because I put that down as my prediction. All right, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Watch out for this Monday stream. And yeah, I will talk to you all later.